And in Nigeria, its Ministry of Foreign Affairs has reiterated the position of the federal government for a two-state solution to resolving the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. A spokesperson for the ministry debunked reports that a Nigerian delegation was sent to the official opening of the Embassy of the United States in Jerusalem, Israel. His comments follow online reports and discussions that says Nigeria was represented at the opening of the embassy. The ministry further clarified that neither the ambassador nor any member of staff of the mission attended the event. Meanwhile, in South Africa, several groups have joined protests in Johannesburg and Cape Town, condemning the recent violence in Gaza, where more than 50 people were killed by Israeli forces. Outside the U.S. consulate in Johannesburg, a group called the Palestine Solidarity Alliance condemned the United States of America for supporting Israel, as well as moving its embassy to Jerusalem. It is their belief that Israel is violating the human rights of Palestinians and killing innocent citizens. Earlier on, South Africa recalled its ambassador to Israel in protest against the violence, a move that has angered Jewish groups in the country, but has been welcomed by Palestine supporters.
We're here to advocate for justice in the international community. We're here to repudiate and revoke any actions which the President Trump may have taken and has taken unilaterally without the consent of the international community, directly in violation of international conventions and instruments that state that Jerusalem remains a final status issue to be determined amongst the parties with agreement and endorsement of the international community. We clearly say that the President Trump cannot rely on its own U.S. congressional legislation and its resolutions in order to exercise its own sovereignty rights over the Palestinian rights, or the sovereignty rights that Palestinians have over Jerusalem.
A new joint report by the Norwegian Refugee Council, NRC, and the Internal Displacement Monitoring Unit, IDMU, says that the number of Africans taking refuge within their countries because of conflict has doubled in a single year. The report finds that nearly 3 million people were left homeless within their countries in 2017, bringing the total to nearly 6 million. The hardest hit is the Democratic Republic of Congo, while South Sudan, Ethiopia, Nigeria, Somalia, and the Central African Republic are also affected. The report says many of them live in insecure areas, making it all the more difficult to provide them with essentials like food, water, and medicine. And the Under-Secretary General for Humanitarian Affairs, Mark Lowcock, has begun a two-day visit to South Sudan. This is to see firsthand the challenges faced by local communities and the aid workers who risk their own lives to provide desperately needed assistance. Mr. Lowcock, who is also the Emergency Relief Coordinator, visited a UN protection site to meet with some of those suffering in vicious conditions after being displaced by ongoing violence.
The United Nations mission in South Sudan has described the humanitarian situation there as dire. A third of the South Sudanese population is displaced. About 1.8 million have fled their homes within the country, while another 2.5 million have crossed the border as refugees.
It's extremely difficult. I mean, it's a little example of the multiple challenges as humanitarian agencies we have here in South Sudan. People are in here not because they want to be here, but because they want to be safe. You saw the banners that their children were holding up for me to see when I came in. What they want is peace and education. That's what people want everywhere. Mark Lowcock says without sustained humanitarian assistance, more than 7.1 million people could become severely food insecure in the coming months, while 1.7 million are on the brink of catastrophe. He met with the leadership of the UN mission in South Sudan to discuss the political and security situation, focusing on a recent surge in violence in unity.
Peacekeepers have been out as much as they possibly can to try and instill some calm and some confidence around the place, but nevertheless what we are seeing on the ground is truly horrific. There are tukals, huts being burned, women are being raped, children are being killed. I saw a child that had been shot myself when I was there a couple of days ago. And people are so scared that they have fled for the swamps of safety, or they have come to our base. And about 3,000 people now are close, sitting right beside us and living right alongside our base because it's the only place they feel safe.
The UN mission and humanitarians are working together to support those seeking sanctuary.
Still to come on the program, Kenyan mothers protest against discrimination on public breastfeeding. Please stay with us.